Hi, and welcome back to Meet Your Body. We are talking today about my specific workout routine. And I'll tell you why. It's because this is probably one of the top questions I get is how I work out, the specifics around it. Like, what am I doing? How many days a week? How long? How am I dividing it up? All of that. Because if you follow me on Instagram, if you follow me anywhere on YouTube, I am showing you clips. I am teaching you full workouts. And you're probably at home wondering, how is she really applying this? Like, how does this get applied in real life? And that's what I want to tell you today. I am going to tell you the nuts and bolts of my current exercise program, and I will give you context around it as well. So before I dive in, I do want to tell you, if you're listening in real time, on September 1st, 2025, I am starting my 4-week muscle strength program in Unlimited. So Unlimited is my membership community. It's an amazing place where we support one another. You get daily workouts, workout plans, recipes, live sessions with me, so much to support you on your journey with your body. And again, it is one of the most supportive places online. I promise. It's amazing. And we're starting a specific program for muscle strength. So that starts September 1st. I will have the link below to sign up and join us. And so a lot of what I'm telling you today is right there at Unlimited. Like, the program that I am giving you in September is the program that I follow. But I'm going to give you, again, the nuts and bolts here so that you have it. So for context, I'm a 47-year-old woman. I have a history of severe prolapse, and I have had surgery. So 5 years ago, I had a prolapse repair surgery and a hysterectomy. So I've had those things done. I've had breast cancer and a mastectomy, and that was 1.5 years ago. My last surgery was about 7 months ago now, and that was a mastectomy revision surgery. I also have hypermobility, and so I'm on the spectrum for hypermobility and endometriosis. So all that to say, I have done a lot of work in my lifetime for the past 25 years since the first of those diagnoses. I've done a lot of work to prepare my body for what I do now. And I am not at all saying that you need 25 years before you get to this point. You can jump in tomorrow because there are so many modifications, variations, nuances around all of this. What I am saying is, if you don't have a relationship with your body yet, if you have chronic pain of any kind of sort, I tell people, I want you to get your house in order as you're going through this. Meaning, I don't want you to jump right into a brand new exercise program if you have knee pain that you haven't dealt with, because it actually will make you feel less motivated and less consistent. I want you, and it can be at the same time, all right, you don't have to wait, but I want you to go through maybe some of my knee strengthening and physical therapy for knee pain exercises. Maybe it's the time you need to finally see a doctor and just make sure everything is going okay. If you have some things like that, make sure that you're addressing them. And again, it can be at the same time, but it will make everything so much more consistent, and you will be able to apply that going forward. The other thing is to work on your mindset. Make sure that you're ditching that idea of all or nothing, all right? Where it has to be an hour every day, or if it's not worth it. You have to ditch that mindset. Even 10 minutes a day can make a difference. If you haven't gotten to that place, make sure you're doing that work to build up as well. So when I say this has been years in the making, I just mean I have had the 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. I have had to go back to the drawing board and be a beginner and go through rehab so many times, numerous times. But I always come back to my mat. I always come back to my body. We are doing this together. We are partners in this situation. And I like to say that because so many of these quick fix programs that you might see on social media or online, or you jump into a class that you've never done before because your best friend is doing it, you might feel a little bit discouraged because it doesn't give you the results you want, or maybe it just doesn't feel good in your body. And I'm here to tell you it is okay. That is okay that you might not love that one exercise style. There's so many different ones out there. And also, again, go back to, how do you meet your body where it is today? How do you meet your body where it is right now? So the plan that I give you, or what I'm going to tell you that I'm doing, really can be kind of plug and play, in that you can follow it no matter where you are in life. So when I tell you, okay, I'm doing 3 dumbbell workouts a week, that might look like 35 minutes for you in advanced dumbbells. If you've done it a long time, it might look like 15 minutes and you're starting at the beginner level. Whatever it looks like, it's great because you're there and you're meeting your body where it is. All right. So again, it's kind of this recipe I'm going to give you, and I'll tell you what mine look like, but I want you to make it look like it should for you in whatever stage of life that you are in. So here is, again, kind of the nuts and bolts that I follow throughout the week. And it is in Unlimited. So in my Unlimited program, we have a workout calendar that I give you every single month. And you have daily workouts, both beginner and advanced options that you can follow. And I pretty much follow that calendar. And again, I will tweak it as needed for travel or for how I feel that day or how much time I have. And you can always put in other workouts from our 500 workouts in our workout library. You can pick what's best for you, but I do give daily recommendations so that you can just follow along and make it as easy as possible. So I am basically following that. So when I say a program I follow, I give it right to my members as well. So for me, it looks like right now, 3 days a week of lifting weights. And I have gotten to this point over the past, like really since I had my mastectomy and I've worked through recovery, and I've really gotten to a place that I feel like I've recovered from that. And I'm at a good place for my strength. And being a perimenopausal woman, I am pushing my weights even more than I was before. And that just means I'm focusing a lot on progressive overload. So I find that I had really gotten to a point with my dumbbells and my weights, barbells, all the weights. I had gotten to a point where I was really kind of just sticking to status quo so that I could say I did it. So I was doing the squats, I was doing the deadlifts with the dumbbells. I was doing all of that, but I wasn't upping my weights all that much. So I would feel it when I was doing it, but I didn't realize that I wasn't quite pushing myself to enough of a challenge place to see results over months and months. So I was getting it done. And there were times that I needed that just to get it done because I was in recovery mode. But I'm at a place now that I'm noticing by upping the weights and working into that progressive overload place, I am really seeing results right now, and it's really exciting. And so all that means is I have, again, adjusted the weights a little bit. And whereas before, I was really making sure I had 2 days of weights per week and then maybe an optional third day, I'm really trying to focus on making sure I have 3 solid days of lifting weights. And I have talked about this a lot in other places, so I won't here, but I will say this means lifting weights. This does not mean bands. It doesn't mean my reformer. I'm not using other ways like body weight. I am lifting weights for that resistance training 3 days a week. All right. And typically for me, what I do is I do a leg day, like a dedicated leg day. And then I'll do a dedicated upper body day. And then I do a third day that tends to be full body, but I do focus more on legs on that third day because that is just more of a goal for me personally. So it's one leg day, one dedicated arm day, and then a combo day that's usually about like 2/3 legs and 1/3 arms. And that's what that looks like. And it's going to be on different days, depending again on the week, on everything, on life. For me, it's usually Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or maybe a Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, just depending on if I can get to the gym. Now, all of this I can do at home, and in Unlimited, everything I give you is to be done at home because that's what most of us are doing. I want you to feel very successful at home. I find I have felt really encouraged and excited to go to the gym over the last 2 years. And so I have a gym that I can get to 2 days a week, and that's what I do. So that's just me personally. So whatever excites you and makes it more accessible and more doable for you. If that's a gym, great. If it's home, great. But that's what it looks like for me 3 days a week. For time, I am lifting 25 to 30 minutes. Okay, that is what I find that I do is for my lift time during those days on a when I have a good amount of time, it's 25 to 30 minutes. I like to warm up with a walk if I can and I have time. So I like to warm up with a 10-minute walk. So on a perfect day like today, I felt a little bit rushed for time because I had a lot to do, but I was at the gym. I walked on the treadmill. My goal was 10 minutes, but I did 15 because I was really into my book. So I walked for 15 minutes on the treadmill. Then I lifted for, I want to make sure I tell you the right amount. I lifted for like 27 minutes. That's the time I had. I really timed it. And then I had to get out of there. And so later today, I will do another walk probably for 15 or 20 minutes or so. So that is what today will look like. And when I say I set that timer and I lift weights, I mean I am lifting weights. I put on music or a podcast. I am not opening my phone and looking at things. I know my routine. I think I got in 4 solid exercises. I do 3 reps of each, 3 sets. I do 3 sets of each. And typically I am going 6 to 8 reps in each set, depending on, again, the weight. All right. So if you are working into progressive overload, meaning you are really working on your weights and you're really focusing on, you're getting fatigued, you are pushing yourself to do heavier stuff. In that situation, you do a set, like 6 to 8 reps, and you rest for 30 to 60 seconds. Like you're not out doing something else. You are resting, and then you're doing another set, resting, doing another set, resting, and then moving on to another. That's one of the differences with my heavier weights now. Whereas before, I found when I was doing lighter weights, I would do a ton of supersets because I was trying to get everything done at once. So I was doing legs and then arms and then a different legs and then a different arms. And then I'd get down and do abs on the mat. And then I'd do this. So it was kind of a cardio almost, which was fun. I mean, and there's a place for that. And I still do it sometimes. But again, I find with my goal of truly building muscle, I am trying to hypertrophy and build my muscles. I need to go heavier weights and I got to give my muscles rest between sets. It's just a different way of working out. So I'm doing that 3 days a week. Okay. Then about, I would say 1 day a week, I am doing a cardio kind of interval, which usually looks like about 20 minutes on my stationary bike, or I'm kind of sprinting and then slower, sprinting, slower, sprinting, slower. Sometimes it looks like a trail run depending on the weather. So that's about 1 day a week that I really will focus on that, or like a high intensity interval training workout. Again, we have those in Unlimited, so I just follow those where I'm doing jump squats, that kind of stuff. And it's really meant to heart rate up, like work on that endurance, work on type 2 muscle fibers, work on my speed and my power. So that happens 1 day a week. Usually I would say it's Tuesday. That's what we do in Unlimited. I just follow that. And that's like 20 minutes max. All right. And I'm also walking and adding some stretching that day. So now I've told you 4 days. Then I've got a day where I'm doing my Pilates. Like it is a committed Pilates workout. I find my body is craving that after, especially the lifting the weights. I mean, staying mobile and doing those twists and working through my core and working on balance is just mandatory for my body. It just absolutely is. So that's a 5th solid day. So there's 5 solid days. And then I have 2 others. Now, in Unlimited, we give a rest day. And I think it's really important to always build that in. It is to let your muscles rest. Like there's so many reasons, but you can also make it an active rest day. So typically my rest day is going to be a day on the weekend that I do a long walk and I'm playing a ton with the kids. We're in the driveway playing, we're doing volleyball, we play Foursquare, we might go on a bike ride. We're just really active. I do yard work. So I will, like yesterday, I pulled weeds for an hour and I went on a really long walk with my weighted vest. So it worked my body. I felt great. I was in the sun and I call that kind of an active rest day. And then my last day is really what I call a grab bag day for myself. And that is already happening this week. I have travel coming up. So it's just going to be what I can fit in that day. I find it's really important to give yourself that flexibility and space where maybe, again, you want to go to a class with a friend. Maybe you have an opportunity to get in the pool. Maybe you're traveling, so you end up doing something different. Maybe you end up getting sick or you don't have a lot of sleep that night. So you need to adjust and you need to feel really supported, not feel bad about yourself, not feel ashamed, but feel really supported in saying, you know what, today I need to find a Pilates routine for sleep, or I need to find a routine to support myself as, I'm feeling really down today. Like I need something to support my nervous system. And so you can think of it as a day that you're just doing something for your body. Like maybe it's going to acupuncture. Maybe it's finally going to see a dermatologist for your skin check that you haven't done in a long time. Like, what are you doing for yourself and for your body? And that can be even that grab bag day, and then combine it with a walk. Okay. So let me review all that, because I am giving you kind of, again, that recipe that I follow, but you also need to see that there's nuance within all of it. Okay. So I'll tell you what I do. Again, I'm going to review, but I'm also going to tell you recommendations within that. So if you are, no matter who you are really, but you know me, I am talking mostly to women, and I am talking to women going through the aging process, whether you are in your 30s and you are just now pregnant or having babies and you're realizing you want to do what you need to for the future you, or you're perimenopausal like me going through all the changes right now. Or maybe you're postmenopausal and you really want to make sure that you continue to keep that muscle mass built up and protect your bones wherever you are. This, again, is a plan that you can follow. I wouldn't change it for you. The only thing I would change is, what does the workout look like for you and your fitness level? Are you beginner? Are you intermediate? Are you advanced? What are specific health situations you have that you need to work within that? But 3 days a week, and I would say 2 minimum, but really 3, okay? And I really 3 days a week, lifting weights. And again, that means dumbbells, barbells, a kettlebell. All right. Other resistance trainings are really important in other ways. We use them in rehab. I will use it to build you up to dumbbells. I will use it for many ways. But if we are trying to build muscle mass with progressive overload and help protect your muscles and your bones as you age, it has to be lifting weights, and it needs to be challenging. Doable, but challenging. Okay. So 2 days a week minimum. If you're new and that's what you have, then do it. Like I said, get rid of the all or nothing mentality. But if you're able to add that third day, that's a great, great, great option. And Unlimited right now, our third day is kind of a body weight day where we might use bands or your body weight or even a weighted vest, because I really want everyone to see that there are options there. But if you're able to incorporate some weights, that's even better. So 3 days a week, and that's what I'm doing for myself. A minimum of 20 minutes. Okay. And again, hear me say, if you're brand new or you only have 10 minutes, that's what you're going to do. Use 10 minutes and repeat it over and over again until your body is used to it and your body feels safe. Then build up to 20 minutes. But really, for results, long term, 3 days a week, 20 minutes minimum. Okay, that's for lifting your weights. Then I walk every single day. And I don't have a specific amount of steps I'm going for, because that's really kind of an arbitrary number. But I will say I've tested myself. Like, I like data. I like knowing. I've worn my watch enough to know that if I get a minimum of 8,000 steps, that's when I feel my best. If it's less than that, I can feel that I just haven't gotten up and moved enough. I've been stuck in front of my computer a lot, or it's a travel day, like I said, or something like that. So I feel my best if it's 8,000 steps minimum. So that is something I really, really work for. And that's daily, right? So I've got my 3 days a week of lifting weights, 20 minutes minimum. I shoot for 30 if I can. Then I've got my walking, 8,000 steps a day. I don't have a specific plan for that, except I really do like to warm up with a 10-minute walk before I lift weights, if that fits into my schedule. It's not mandatory, but it does feel best to me. Sometimes I do it morning, sometimes I do it in the evening. So however you can fit in your walks, and it can just be sparsed throughout the day. It doesn't have to be all at once. And then I've got my one kind of dedicated cardio session a week, doing high intensity interval training workout from Unlimited, or maybe doing some sprints on the bike, maybe doing my own thing that I make up on the fly at the park with the kids, where I'm doing squat jumps and jumping onto a bench and that kind of thing. So cardio, just take a side note. This might be a different thing for you to hear. You might be thinking, oh my gosh, that's not enough cardio. I like to do the elliptical every single day. I want to do cardio every single day. I just want you to look at your workout plan and what that's doing for you. Are you using that instead of lifting weights? Are you using that and also feel like you need to cut calories and decrease? Are you putting yourself into a scarcity place because your body's changing and you might be gaining some weight because of perimenopausal age? Just look at that, because our bodies can't sustain only an hour of cardio like that a day. We have to have the lifting weights. And we know when we build muscle burns more throughout the day. You will burn more calories actually throughout the day by taking the time to put on muscle. So it is okay, and it's even recommended, especially as we age and if our nervous systems are unregulated and in fight or flight, it is recommended to decrease some of that cardio. Try lots of walks, try lots of steps, and then maybe that one day a week of that high intensity kind of interval training. And again, if you're a runner who loves it, by all means, I'm not taking it away from you. If it works for you, great. Just make sure that you're finding time for those other things as well. So yes, I include just one dedicated cardio day a week, and I feel good about that. I feel great about it. The research backs that up, and my body backs that up. That's what my body can sustain. And then I've got 1 to 2 days a week of Pilates. And usually really it's 2, because my body feels so good for it. So I'll have one dedicated day of Pilates. And then honestly, I am doing little bits and pieces of Pilates and mobility throughout the week to fit it in on the days that I have time. And then I have that kind of grab bag day / active rest day. And that's how it works for me. And I feel like that is a really, really great program. Oh, and let me tell you times, because you might really want specifics. So I told you how many steps. I told you the time on the weight. And then I told you the time on the cardio. That's about 20 minutes. So for Pilates, when I say dedicated Pilates, like, it is great if I can personally get in a 45 minute Pilates workout on my mat. Like, that's a great day. So I try to do that once a week. And then when I have time to add on to other days throughout the week, I am doing probably 10 to 15 minutes of Pilates / mobility to either end the day or end the workout. And that's a couple times a week. And that's how it works out for me. So no single day is ever longer than, 50 minutes, 50 minutes in one setting, like where I'm there working out, I leave. It's never more than that, and it's usually less than that. That being said, I also then sparse it throughout the day. I'm going to do more 10-minute walks throughout the day or 20-minute walks. I'm going to add that stretching or mobility at night. Just with my age, I feel better when I do. So I feel like I am always building activity around what I'm doing, and that has really helped in this perimenopausal place. The more active I am just in daily life, right? Like walking up and down the stairs, parking far away. The more I add all that, the better I do, really. But when it comes to dedicated, I'm starting my workout right now. It really is about 45 minutes, I bet it averages, and not more than that usually, because that's real life and that's the time I have. And it would be great if I have more, but I tend not to in one setting. So I'm going to fit it in throughout the day. And that's what my workout looks like right now. And like I said, I feel really, really good about it. If I had goals to change anything, it would be just to continue to add some weights and be a little more specific with my weightlifting. But that's just me and where I'm at. Like, it's not even worth talking about necessarily, because it's just something that I'm thinking through of, okay, I feel like this one exercise. Okay, I'm doing 50 pounds, but I want to get up to 60 pounds. Okay, well, that could take 6 months. So that's like I said, it's just kind of a goal I have. So that's one thing, is I want to continue with that. I really want to I need to be more consistent with my mobility and stretching at night. For me and my hips and my endometriosis, it's what I need. That's why I said it's important to kind of know what your own body needs, because you might not need that. You might need the 10-minute physical therapy for knee pain exercise that I have. And maybe that's what you do daily for 2 weeks. Like, you need to know what you need, but it is important to kind of make sure that you can focus on that, on those little chunks of time. So for me, it's stretching out my hips. And I know I would feel better if I can do that. So I would like to be more dedicated with that throughout the week. And that's my focus. That's where I am. And it'll change probably in 5-6 months. I'll adjust it. It always changes with the seasons, because Colorado, snow will come. My outside walking will change. I might be at the gym more. I might be at the gym less. Like, I adjust it for the season, but those big components don't change. It's just what it looks like within that component, right? Like the dumbbells, the weightlifting, that doesn't change. It's just, what does it look like within that? And then I move forward. So I hope that helps. And again, you can come check out our muscle strength program starting September 1st, 2025 and Unlimited. If you're listening to this later on and you miss that, no big deal. Just hop into Unlimited anytime, because again, you will be able to follow that workout calendar and you'll really be able to see it in action. Like, that's what I want. I want you to be able to see it in action, both from a beginner standpoint and an advanced standpoint. What does it look like for you and in real life to get these home workouts that really are effective and help you meet your body, feel strong, feel functional, feel independent, and continue that through the aging process. All right, I'll have all those links below, and I will talk to you soon.